What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and we are doing quite the turn from literally a video I did less than 24 hours ago. Okay, we talked about the idea coming from Nate the Hate and one other insider as well, that they haven't heard anything about a PlayStation State of Play or showcase. Now, to be fair to myself, because I did actually warn and say this in yesterday's video, they never said that it wasn't going to happen. They just said they didn't hear about it. Now, it was definitely framed more, and the way the questions were worded towards them definitely was framed like, okay, well, they're going to skip, so have you heard anything like afterwards? And the answer was, no, they haven't heard anything. So, okay, back, forth, right? Jeff Grubb originally says we're going to get something. Then you had yesterday where we're not going to get anything, although, again, maybe it's just they didn't hear it. Whoever their insiders are just literally didn't answer the phone that day. But Jeff Grubb comes back today, and he, I would say, doubles, if not triples down, right? So originally or initially on his podcast, he brings up the Nate the Hate thing, right? And he says it's a June thing. They're doing something in June. Now, is that going to be a big showcase? I don't think so. I've said a couple months ago that I heard they were discussing going back and forth about doing a showcase or a state of play. Sounds like they've probably settled on a state of play. I'm not 100% sure about that aspect of it. It's probably a state of play, though, but I have heard June. And then he literally just posted just a flat-out tweet that said PlayStation event in June. That's the entirety of what I can confirm. No specific dates. Not sure if it's a state of play or a big boy showcase, but I lean towards state of play. That's it. Anything else that people add is their own speculation. I do like that he does that, or that has that last part, because people tend to, specifically with him, a lot of insiders, but specifically with Jeff Grubb, they tend to just like add things to what he says, and then like that's the new story. And I think it kind of makes him mad, which yeah, I feel like that would make me mad too if people added on to what I said and then told me that that's what I said. So I get that. Okay, now to the whole thing. I do trust him generally. Like he's gotten things wrong, and he's not like, I think, the greatest insider of all time. But when it comes to state of play, like not even state of plays, although I guess technically yes. When it comes to events, he's really good. I think he got the last one like on the day, and he was the only one to get it on the day. So when it comes to state of plays or showcases and it comes to PlayStation, he might not ever know like specifically what's going to be shown or like everything that's going to be shown, but he always seems to nail the date or, the premise, right? The idea that it's happening, let's say it like that. So I am inclined to believe him. And, it does piggyback off what we talked about yesterday. They have to do something, do they not? It might ultimately come down to just third-party stuff, and I know that's immediately, I think, what a lot of people, including myself, would think of. But, they do have to do something. Like, we know that there's a final trailer, like a launch-type trailer for Death Stranding 2. I think Hideo Kojima confirmed that like a week ago. So you have that comes out at the end of June. It could be a Summer Game Fest thing. Like, you have that. Ghost of Yote, obviously you have to show more of that. That comes out. Saros, the Housemarque game, that game was promised gameplay later on in the year. We are technically later on in the year. So are there, and I mean, I know people would bring up like Wolverine. That would be another good one, right? Cory Barlog's game, that was one that Jeff Grubb also talked about, I think, in the same podcast, that they've been working on it for like 7 years, and it's getting ready to be shown somewhat soon. It's not like they have nothing. I have seen that. I've seen people say, well, they're not doing anything because they have nothing to show. I mean, I just gave you 4 things, right, at least, that they could do. They legitimately can do it. Now, to be fair, the list isn't that long. Marathon, you can add a couple, but you're probably not going to get past like 5 to 7 games, right? Now, okay, to be fair to the anti-showcase crowd, like, does it make sense to just do a state of play? Probably does, to Jeff Grubb's point, because what I think you can get out of a state of play is you're fulfilling all your contract agreements to those third-party developers, right? And then you're also throw in 2, 3, 4 of your own things. Now, I don't think like a Cory Barlog thing makes sense. I think like a Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding, and like Saros, right? Like those 3 kind of make sense to do something. And you could do that in a state of play. Back, forth. You could do a showcase. God himself is the only person, I guess, capable of granting us that, maybe in September, right? That's the next kind of well, actually, not even the next speculation. It's what we heard yesterday, right? That you can kind of skip thinking about right now now because in September they're going to do something. And I mean, this is, by the way, it's not like this has never happened before. Like, normally they do state of plays. Well, it used to be showcases, but they do state of plays now, end of May and then September. Like, that's where we got Spider-Man. You go back in time, that's where you got Wolverine. I think that was a showcase, though, right back September of 2021. God of War Ragnarok, etc., etc. Like, Horizon going way back. We've gotten things May, September. I think the scale of it, or I don't know, like just how big, I guess that would be scale, has dropped quite a bit, substantially in recent years, but they still do it. You know what I mean? So I think it makes sense. And then hopefully you don't wait too long. As we said yesterday, you got the Switch 2. You got the Xbox event, technically in order. Switch 2, Summer Game Fest, I think a day apart. And then 3 days after that, or two, I think Summer Game Fest is the Friday. The Xbox event is the Sunday. So 2 days, you got those two. You got the Switch 2 coming out. Don't wait. And I think the Death Stranding 2 thing would make me feel better, where it's like, well, you can't wait too long, right? Because if it comes out June 26th, you probably want to give it like a week before it, maybe 2. So maybe like that week or like right after, the week after Summer Game Fest and the Xbox event, that'd be a pretty good time to come in hot and I guess be the last one to do it unless Ubisoft or Capcom or something also does it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure as always you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.